Scorpio, welcome to your weekly reading for August the 22nd to the 28th. All right, let's get started and see what messages we have for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising, keeping in mind that these readings are general and may not resonate for everyone. So take the messages that do and check out your other placements because you could have some messages there. All right, Scorpio, let's see. What is the energy around the week ahead for Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising? You got a fork in the road, Scorpio. Libra just got that card. This card's sort of flipping over for you too. Mending. This is exactly the card combination that Libra just got. You saw me shuffle the deck. That's very interesting. Bottom of the deck is an unfinished symphony. So this is an interesting combination of cards. So that makes me wonder if there is something from the past that never sort of got resolved or didn't sort of move all the way to completion, something that was left undone, unfinished, sort of open-ended, if you will. And it's almost like you're going to get an opportunity to revisit that if you choose to revisit that. And if you do, it looks like it's going to be kind of healing, that there's something here that's coming back together again this week. Scorpio, I was going to call you Libra. Something is coming back together again, something that was left undone. Very interesting, very interesting. I'm going to keep this unfinished symphony card out here for you as well. So that's very interesting, Scorpio. Let's jump into the tarot cards and see if we can understand a little bit deeper into this situation here for you. Fork in the road, mending, unfinished symphony. Yeah, it definitely feels like you're going to get the opportunity, but you're going to have to choose it. It's very similar to what I said to Libra as well. That fork in the road, that's up to you. So you're going to find yourself at that fork in the road, and then you get to decide which way you go. Do you want to go down the path that leads you to sort of visit that unfinished timeline that never really got to be fully explored? Or will you choose a different path? It's totally up to you. I feel like if we're seeing that mending card with the unfinished symphony, I can't help but think that something could be healed by going down the path that was left undone, that you might get the opportunity to sort of finish something that didn't get off the ground in the past. Very interesting, Scorpio. Okay, let's see what the tarot cards will reveal for you. Okay, there's very similar. You should check out the Libra reading. Eight of Pentacles also featured for Libra as well. So this is something that you are very skilled at. This is something that you are very good at. It's something that works well. This is a general reading. So it could be something that you do very well, or it could be something that works well together, that, you and this experience or opportunity or person or whatever it was that got left undone, you mesh well together, you work well together, you can see yourself producing a lot of successful outcomes together. Or it's this idea that you're very good at something and you're thinking about going back to it because you didn't get a chance to see it all the way through in the past. Very interesting. I can't believe the similarities between this and the Libra reading. There's the Hanged Man. So it's kind of like you're just trusting the process right now. And then we see the Knight of Pentacles, which is sort of this message of being focused and determined towards things that are happening now. And there's the King of Rods, which is a beautiful sort of closer to your first row here of cards, because it's like a very confident, charismatic, passionate energy that says, I go for what I want, like I pursue what is something that is passionate for me. I pursue it, and I go after it. On the bottom of the deck now, we see the Page of Swords in reverse. There's the Devil in reverse and the Ten of Cups. Wow. It's interesting, Scorpio. I can't help but wonder if what awaits you at this fork in the road is an opportunity at this kind of connection with somebody. There may be a connection here that didn't really get seen all the way through in the past. And you have an opportunity with some hard work and effort to heal this connection and maybe see it all the way through this time. But it's interesting because there's also this message of sort of surrender when we see the Hanged Man. So you've got this Eight of Pentacles with the Hanged Man. So it's sort of like, where do you feel, like taken together, I take that as a message of where do you feel the least amount of resistance? Like, where do you feel so comfortable just being still and doing the thing that you're very skilled at and having this really high level of emotional fulfillment? And, you feel very drawn to this and very passionate about it. You're focused and determined. It's a very interesting combination here. The center of your reading, we see the Devil, and it's in reverse. So it's sort of this message that says, are you sure you know what's motivating you? Are you being motivated by something that's like a vice, or are you being motivated with the purity of your heart? Seeing the Page of Swords in reverse sort of makes me wonder if there's sort of this energy where you don't want to talk about this yet. You may know which way you want to go with this fork in the road, if you will, but it's almost like you're keeping it close to your chest right now. You don't want to talk about it, and that's fair enough. You don't want to sort of give anything away. You don't want to say anything prematurely. Perhaps you're holding back because of other reasons, but it sort of feels like there's this desire to keep this to yourself until you're ready to talk about it and until you're ready to take action. That's sort of the other energy around this card when it's in reverse, is that, until you're ready to take action towards whatever this is, you're sort of not talking about it too much because you don't want to gossip. You don't want it to get around, it's very interesting. And yet there's this Devil. So that makes me wonder, like, what is motivating you, right? Make sure you're sort of having that discussion with yourself this week. Yes, and there are some more interesting messages here. Okay, so there may be something going on here, slightly not as it appears, because we see, now that I see the Magician in reverse, sort of connecting to that Devil in reverse, it makes me wonder if there isn't something going on within you, Scorpio, that you sort of need to understand a little bit more, because that's coming out with the Eight of Swords in reverse, which can sort of be this time where we feel like we're a victim of our past stories. And so perhaps going to war, this is interesting. This makes me think that you've got to question your motives about wanting to see through this unfinished symphony. Is it because you felt like the past experience that got left undone hurt you, and so now you're sort of like, well, I want to settle that score? Like it's almost like if that past situation made you feel sort of victimized, or like someone took advantage of you, are you going back to get even, or are you going back because you want this emotional fulfillment and you want to heal that connection, mending? Or like, that's the idea, right? Like, what is your motive in wanting to revisit this unfinished symphony? That's the question. Very interesting question to ask, and relevant, because whenever we visit something from the past, especially something that may need healing, sometimes we revisit it because maybe we're like, it could happen that you could have intentions or motives that aren't to heal it. It might be that you want to revisit it to say, see, I told you so, or to say something like, don't you regret what happened now because now you see the truth about who I am? It's interesting. See what's going on within, okay? When I see the Devil and the Magician in reverse, that really makes me question now, why are you thinking about going back to this unfinished symphony? What are your intentions? Check the intentions for sure. That Ace of Swords in reverse here sort of makes me feel like you're keeping something to yourself, like we said with the Page of Swords, but it's almost like you're denying the truth to yourself. This can be something like your judgment might be so clouded when it comes to what your real intentions are, that you start to overanalyze everything. And my suggestion is, instead of overanalyzing, try to stay in balance, because look, there's the Temperance card in reverse on the bottom of the deck, followed by the Star card in reverse on the bottom of the deck, and the Six of Cups. So this situation has the opportunity, very similar to the Libra reading. You should check that out, especially if you have placements in Libra. This is a situation that could be healing an inner child wound, where you sort of are getting this opportunity to go back to something that now can be healed. And that is very interesting, because we don't always get those kind of opportunities, you know? And I feel like right now there is a bit of lack of balance here when it comes to what's going on within you. You might be feeling impatient. You might be feeling kind of polarized. You might be feeling out of balance. You might not be trusting what's going on here. And so it's very interesting. What will you do when you get to that fork in the road, Scorpio? Will you revisit this unfinished symphony? And will you be aware of your motives and intentions in revisiting this or not? That's the intriguing part of your reading, is what is your intention? You know, what are your motivations? You've got 2 8s here. You know, you've got 2 8s here. So I feel like you've got this opportunity to really heal something, but it's going to have to be in alignment with your energy. And so if your energy is of one that is sort of feeling like you want to go towards this to settle a score. I don't know why that keeps popping into my head. Settling a score. Like, it almost feels like it could be revenge or love. It's love or revenge. You know, it's almost like you want to go back to be like, see, I told you that I loved you, or I told you that I was good and that I was in this for real. Or you're going back to see if there's an opportunity to heal this connection and then either be together or move on. But I kind of feel like there's an opportunity here to get everything you've ever wanted with this 10 of Cups on the emotional level, to receive this emotional balance with, I kind of think it's with a person, to be honest. This feels like an open-ended sort of situation that happened in a relationship, friendship, romantic, whatever. And now you have the opportunity to heal it, or the opportunity to go back and sort of be like, I told you, you know. And so you've got to check your intentions here. That's very interesting, Scorpio. Let's see, what is the final message for you? Yeah, see, bring love into the situation. So the reading is guiding you away from any sort of intention that is less than loving. You know what I mean? Any intention that is less than loving is you're being guided away from that. You're really being guided to use love in this situation. And the card even says, bring love into the situation. New moon in Aquarius. So it's very interesting. This is a situation where you have the ability to really bring love to something that was left undone. And I feel like that would be really healing. For you, for the other person, the whole situation. Bottom of the deck is take time to breathe out, another card that Libra got, and it's the disseminating moon. And I think you need to disseminate your motives and your intentions moving forward towards this fork in the road, because it could be very healing. Could be very, very healing. All right, we're going to leave it at that. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading, Scorpio. I hope it's been helpful. I'm sending you so much love and light. Take care, and we'll see you again soon for another reading.